And we're going streaking. All right, and welcome back to Phins Football Podcast. I am B Trill, and go ahead and give me a double thumbs up. It is a victory for the Miami Dolphins, and yes, we are going streaking. That is 3 in a row for the Miami Dolphins. We are finally back on track. Wow, look at our record now, 5-6. Could you imagine if we had Tua the entire season? Man, all you Tua haters. But before I dive into that, let's go ahead and thank all of you. So, yes, keep liking, keep subscribing. If you are new, I want to make sure you get all the new latest updates, predictions, recaps, breaking news. I bring it all to you, whether it's a short or one of these episodes. I think we're already on episode 24. So, yes, give me a like. Do a subscribe, smash that subscribe button. Why don't we go ahead and do a comment? What was your favorite play of the game? And share. Make sure we get my name out there. Let everybody know that Phins Football Podcast does exist, and I am B Trill. So let's go ahead and dive into this week 12 victory. How about that? So we won 34-15 against those stinking New England Patriots. So, of course, we're going against a rookie quarterback and a first-year head coach, but we hate the Patriots. Tua is always dominant against the Patriots, and he showed that, I think, with probably his best career game against them. It was halftime, and he was already putting up the numbers. I'm going to go through some breakdowns. I do have some game notes. I do have some stats. But first, we have leapfrogged the Indianapolis Colts to where we are now in the 8th seed of the AFC race. So we are trying to get to that 7th seed for a wild card. We are now in the 8th spot because the Colts lost today. The Colts did lose to the Lions 24-6. So that is great news for Miami. Honestly, nothing else could go better this week for Miami. Here, the Chiefs were undefeated. Yay and cheers and celebration. Champagne toast for our 72 Dolphins because the Bills knocked off the Chiefs, so they are no longer undefeated. We have... Oh, I'm sorry, that was last week. Bills have the bye week. Anyways, I'm a week off. But anyways, we have the Colts. They lost. They were ahead of us in the playoff race. So now we leapfrog them. We only have Denver in front of us right now. And I think they are still losing to the Raiders. So they're playing the Raiders right now. We beat them last week. But currently, what is the score? 10-9. So probably by the time you get this, hopefully the Raiders have beat the Denver Broncos, and then we'll only be a half game still behind them. So with that, we have the Chargers facing the Ravens. I'm pretty sure that's tonight or tomorrow. I think tonight. Right now, the Chargers are 7-3, and the Ravens are 7-4. They hold those other two wild card spots above the Broncos. So basically, one of them have to lose considering they're playing each other. Hopefully the Broncos lose. The Colts already lost. Houston, they lost. So I don't know if you guys follow that, but Houston lost to the Tennessee Titans. They lost 32-27. Speaking of games, man, did you guys see the ending of that Cowboys-Washington game? That was insane. The fact that Terry McLaurin, he scored that lucky mercy touchdown, like it was insane. Then they missed the extra point to tie it, and then they gave up the touchdown on the onside kick. It was an insane, wild finish to that game. If go ahead and recap it, who knows? It'll probably be on NFL Network. But again, we have 3 straight wins. We are streaking and we are going into Lambeau. We have the short week going into Lambeau on Thanksgiving. So hopefully nobody falls asleep after stuffing their face with some turkey or whatever you're having on Thanksgiving. But that game is at, I think, 8:20 on Thanksgiving on Thursday night. So I can't wait for that game. That will kind of show Miami who we really are. Yeah, we kind of been beating up on names for teams that really don't have a winning record, really haven't competed too much this year. But the road gets tougher. We go to Lambeau. Then I think we go home to Houston. The Jets are in there twice, 49ers and Browns. So not the easiest schedule to remain, especially, Jameis Winston. He looked great on Thursday. So who knows what we're walking into there. But let's dive in what our 8th place Miami Dolphins did on Sunday, did today. Depends on when you're watching this, when I can actually get this uploaded and out. So yes, we did have a win, 34-15. So Miami, we actually were winning 31-0. We kind of let off on the gas a little bit. You can kind of tell we were just dominating the first half. I'm pretty sure we went in, what was the box score? I'm pretty sure we went into the half up 28-0. But I'll go over some team notes and I'll go over that recap. But first thing is, I want to dive into some team stats. So, first off, I'll go over player stats. Tua. Tua was playing lights out. He finished the game 29 for 40, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 128.9. Let's go Tua. So again, all you Tua haters, don't watch me because I am a huge Tua supporter. Again, I bought his jersey the day he was drafted, and since then, I've bought a few more jerseys, including one for my daughter. So I am a huge Tua supporter. And it just shows the difference in what our team can do when you have a quarterback with his accuracy, with his quick release, with his timing, with just... He is the only one that can run this offense. So you can say what you want about the man, but he played lights out. He got us that win. Devon Achane, he didn't have too much on the running game. He had 10 carries for 32 yards, 3.2 average, 9 was his longest. Jalen Wright didn't do too much better, 7 carries, 28 yards, 4 average, 12 was his longest. He did have one 12-yard run. Mostert, he got 2 carries, 2 for 5 yards, 2.5. 5 was his long, so he got stuffed on one of those. Malik Washington, he did have an end around for 2 yards. Jonnu Smith, they tried a little end around with him. He got stopped at the line of scrimmage. Receiving, Jalen Waddle. So I said in the preview that I hope that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle would have a big game, considering that Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, they both had over 100 yards against Patriots last week. But I didn't expect Waddle to go off like that. He almost had 100 at half. I think he had like 80 yards at half, or at least 70, I know that. But Jalen Waddle, he ended with 9 targets, 8 catches, 144 yards, 18 average, that 1 touchdown, and 29 was his long. So Waddle, you had a career day. You had your biggest game of the season, biggest game I've seen in a while, maybe even since your rookie year. I know he has had at least a couple 100-yard games since Tyreek Hill has been here, but not as dominant as that. Again, we kind of stepped off the gas during the second half since we were up by so much, but Jalen Waddle was dominant in the first half. Dominant. Someone else who was dominant, Jonnu Smith. So again, I predicted that he should blow up weeks ago. Beginning of the season, I said he was probably going to be one of our sneaky acquisitions, and he is. And I said he needs to be a big part of this offense because yards after carry, runs after the catch. He can just do it all. He is not really a blocking tight end, but he is a pass catching tight end. He can run after the catch, and man, is he fast. So I do love Jonnu Smith. Tyreek Hill, he only had 5 catches, 48 yards, 9.6 average, 20 was his long on 6 targets. So Tyreek, he had a down game, but again, he was still part of the offense. He caught a lot of screen passes and behind the line. I think he had at least 1 or 2 in the middle. Divine Achane, he had 3 catches, 24 yards. So his all-purpose was 56. So not bad, not the 100-yard games that we're used to, but 56 ain't bad. Still contributed. He's still on pace for probably a Pro Bowl season. Definitely on pace to break that 1,000-yard mark, but we will see. He did have 2 touchdowns today that we're receiving. So I'll go through my game notes, but those screenplays kind of just led to it all. Durham Smythe, he had 1 catch, 8 yards. Julian Hill, 1 catch, 8 yards. Malik Washington, only 1 catch, 1 yard. So I thought he would have more of an impact. OBJ, 0 catches, 0 yards, 3 targets. OBJ, man, you almost had 1 or 2 of those 3, but we need you to step up. Again, we paid you some money. We want you to play. We want to, I don't know, maybe you'll show up in the playoffs if we make the playoffs. So and I hope we do. Jalen Wright, he did have a target. Raheem Mostert, 1 catch, -1 yards. Jalen Wright, he lost the fumble. So that was not good. It was more on Skylar Thompson, but we'll kind of talk about it a little bit. Jalen Wright did bobble the ball, but there was that fumble loss. On defense, we had 4 sacks. Huge. 8 QB hits, 6 pass deflections. Chop, chop, chop. I will just do the celebration. Ready? Chop Robinson is a beast. He probably had one of the best games of his career. I don't even know what was his stat line. It wasn't even really about the stat line. He had 4 total tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass deflections, and he had a strip sack that they called a incomplete pass, which it kind of was. But Drake May was like this, and the ball kind of went the other way. I don't know if it was really a throw, but sure, we'll go ahead and call that a incomplete pass. But Chop Robinson, best game of his career. He is really just showing why he was a first-round pick. He constantly was either bull rushing or making a quick move just to beat his player inside. He was speed rushing outside. He was dipping down low. He was making every play possible. I really like him. I think, you know what? It's Black Friday. I think I'm going to buy his jersey. That's my next jersey, is a Chop Robinson jersey. He just proved himself today. Again, if you haven't noticed, I'm a jersey fanatic. I have maybe 40, I want to say. I've been collecting them. I will admit, a lot of them are from China. But I do have a lot that are actually from the pro shop. So from NFL shop that are real. Of course, that Divine Achane, that is an alternate. That's not real. That would be cool if Miami wore those colors. But back to the game. Zach Sealer, phenomenal. He was always showing up in the running game. He was stopping in the middle. Calais Campbell, he always shows what he can do. He had a phenomenal game as well. but it really was the offense that just put up the points. Our defense was stopping them, 3-and-outs. Waddle and Jonnu and Tua, they all just had phenomenal games. I got great faith in the rest of the year. I think that Miami, if we keep playing complete football the way we did, we didn't have a penalty until the second half. That shows discipline. That shows why we were up so big at half. It was just, if we can do this, we can move the ball and have the offense that we did today against the high-powered offense and defenses, the powerhouse teams like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens. Who knows, if we squeak into the playoffs, we might have a chance. So I'm going to go over some game notes quick. I'm not going to go through all my notes. I do write down a lot of notes, but also I'm trying to watch the game as well. So a lot of them I'm always just jotting down quick that I'm like. But I do see, again, still getting over being sick. I'm literally looking at this as at first glance, and I would say 90% either has Waddle, Jonnu Smith, or Chop Robinson. They just dominated today's game. So I mentioned Chop Robinson had a lot of good pressures, got some holding calls. That first drive, not the first drive, the second drive where we actually scored a touchdown, Waddle had some big plays. Hills had some good catches. We had some tackle for losses. Chop Robinson with pressures. He beat 2 people half the time. So I loved how the broadcasters brought it out, how they're like, man, their tackles really need some help. They were going max protect. They were bringing in a tight end and a running back to not go out for a pass and help the left and right tackle. And we still had both ends meet the quarterback. We had Chop Robinson. He first did a swim move on the tight end, then beat the right tackle on the right side. And then Jonathan Agba, I don't know what he did, but he just went inside and just did a stunt. And both players got washed out by Sealer. And Agba just came right inside untouched. Chop Robinson and Agba just met Derek May, and that was hilarious. It just showed what our defensive line could do, but also how bad the Patriots were. The announcers were almost making everyone feel bad about that situation. That was a big play. I loved when Waddle scored that touchdown, and you see Stephen Ross. Why does he do the worst Waddle celebration I've ever seen? Oh, by the way, we did have a whiteout today, but I'll show you my Waddle for Ross. That's not how you do it. You have to rock side to side. I don't understand why he's lifting his hands. Anyway, Stephen Ross, you just re-signed him. You're going to be seeing that celebration for a long time coming. At least get to know the celebration. Some other big notes. I mean, like I said, it's all... Oh, when Julian Hill, when you thought it was a fumble, yeah, that was a good bobble. I mean, just a lot of these... Jonnu Smith, Waddle... Oh, Chop Robinson Chop Robinson is a wrecking ball in a machine. Pressure on back-to-back plays. Almost had a strip sack. Bull rush the right tackle. And then the very next play, it was a 4v7 max protect, and then we got in there. I'm just really excited. Oh, we're up 24-0 at half. Good plays by Dobson. That was one thing that I wanted to mention. Dobson had a sack. Him and Ramsey went untouched to the quarterback. Just a lot of big things. I just want to keep saying thank you to everybody out there. Keep watching because I think Miami is going to go on a big, long win streak. I think I got the faith for us to make the playoffs. But keep liking, keep subscribing, keep watching, keep sharing. And as always, fins up, family.